Good morning, good evening, or good afternoon. Welcome back to all my YouTube audience. Oh, I'm so glad to be back here. I'm your content creator, and today we are talking about your wedding series. Oh my goodness, we are planning your wedding starting at age 14 years old. Now, I realize that most people don't get married at 14 years old, nor do they think about planning their wedding at 14 years old, but it's important to do so. Okay, so we're taking it all the way back to the beginning. This is an exciting time in your life, and so it's important for you to know or at least have some tips and tricks on what you could do to start planning now. Now, we are fast forwarding the series up into the age where you get engaged, and that's different for everybody. Not everybody gets married at the exact same day or the same age in their life. So, even though we're starting at age 14, we are fast forwarding to the age that you are going to be getting proposed to. Okay. And so, yeah. So, your wedding series is about planning your wedding and telling your love story, okay? And it's through a slew of wedding events. That's what the series is all about, starting with the proposal, engagement party, engagement photo shoot, the bridesmaid's proposal, the groomsman's proposal, the dress shopping or gown shopping, like I like to call it. I love ball gowns so much. Then you have the bachelorette party, bachelor party, hen do party, depending on what country that you're in, rehearsal dinner, rehearsal, wedding ceremony, wedding reception. And of course, before that, we have the get ready with me the morning of the wedding. Now, not everyone's going to have all of these events in their wedding series. You may have some extras like the welcome party or the after party, and even other things like the morning after with parents and things like that for brunch if you have like an elopement or something somewhere in a different space like a cruise or an island or something. There's lots of events when it comes to weddings, but why am I here? Well, as your content creator, I provide affordable wedding videography. Yes, and this videography is going to help you to remain hands free at your wedding and all of your wedding series of events. Most people, when they go to an event, they've got their cell phone right in their hand. And that's because we are living a content creator life, you guys. Everybody thinks that they're a photographer, a videographer. People think that they can live stream everything. And so, if you want to be able to see your guest faces looking at you at your events rather than them staring at their phone and putting a lens in your face, it's good to hire me. It's good to hire me as your content creator. I am your personal paparazzi, and I will have my cell phone lens at my hands. Okay. We are going to now get ready with lights, camera, action. Let's start this show, you guys. Let's start this show. I am here to give you some really amazing advice that's going to help your love story unfold. Oh, I'm so excited. All right, you guys. So we're jumping right in. This is episode 4. Let's get over to our notes. This is going to be episode 4, and this is part 2 of episode 4. This is talking about living with your parents after you've already finished college or after you finished high school, okay? Depending on where, what you decide to do when it comes to your education. This is going to be the bride's perspective. We will have the next episode 5 will be about the groom's perspective and some tricks and things and tips for him to be planning while he is in that stage of his life. Okay, so this is talking about living with your parents. I know, not the most exciting thing. Nobody wants to do it. Nobody wants to live with their parents. So basically, after school is over, instead of moving out, you'd stay home. And I had some really great tips in part 1 of this. So in episode 1, I should say, because we have different parts. This is actually, we're considering episode 2. Okay. And we're going to jump into episode 2, part 3. Okay. So if you're taking notes, this is episode 2 of Living with Your Parents. And this is part 3 of your outline. Let me look at my notes. Part 3, preparing for the wedding. Remember, when you're preparing for the wedding, we already talked about who is paying for the ceremony and the reception. But now we're going to talk about some interesting ways on how you can start preparing for the wedding as the bride. Okay. So, this is going to be different things that you're going to be paying for. That's not the ceremony and it's not the reception. Bullet point 1, create a savings goal for your dream wedding. This is a rough draft. Cost could change. So, we are talking about creating a rough draft of cost. Now, things could definitely change. All right. We talked about who is going to be paying for the wedding reception and the ceremony. And so, we want to be talking about cost for that specific day. You want to create like an outline, a rough draft. Now, how are you going to do that when you just barely graduated college, you just barely graduated high school, you haven't gotten engaged? This is all preparing for the wedding before the proposal. Okay, so let's keep that in mind. Now, the way you're going to do that is start researching. Go online, look up what it is to have a wedding at different places, different venues. If you wanted to do a house wedding, a wedding in the park, see if you need to get a license for to have something from public, the public people, the government. And then you want to also consider venues. There are lots and lots of wedding venues out there with different costs. So you're going to have to start calling around because most people aren't going to have any of their prices on their website, which makes it extremely difficult in this process. Now, I know that most people wait until they actually get engaged, they get a wedding planner, they pay them a slew amount of money. Now, you can do that. I'm not saying that you can't. But if you want to start pricing things now, even wedding planners, you can start pricing that. You don't obviously need to book one because you haven't gotten engaged. So you're just going to be contacting these people and getting an idea, getting a ballpark figure, okay, of what they offer and how much it is. This reason why you're doing this is because it's going to give you a chance to see, okay, things are expensive. What exactly do I want? What do I like? What don't I like? And it's important to do that because, guys, let's just be honest, this is the most hardest part of planning a wedding is the cost, trying to figure out a budget. So if you can knock this out before you even get proposed to, of having like that idea of what it's like to plan a wedding and to purchase all of these things, oh my goodness, we have people who are DIY brides, budget brides. They've decided, nope, all this stuff is too expensive. I don't want an all-inclusive venue. I just want to do it all myself. We're going to have our wedding in the backyard at our parents' house and our grandparents' house. Maybe their grandparents have like a garden back there or a gazebo. I've seen some pretty gorgeous backyard weddings. So keep it in mind. Keep it in mind, you guys. Don't think that you have to wait until you are proposed to in order to start budgeting for your wedding. Let's look at bullet point number 2. And this is still part of part 3. Learn about wedding cost and prioritize what's important. So the reason why we are looking at wedding cost and trying to prioritize what's important is because maybe you don't want flowers. Flowers are extremely high cost, okay? People were very surprised by that. I do not know why flowers have to be so expensive when they die within 3 days, especially since you're going away on your honeymoon, right? Let's think about this. You're going away on your honeymoon. Are you even going to be able to take care of those flowers? No, you're not. All those flowers that you bought. And then you've got people that come from out of town. Do you think they want to get on an airplane with like bouquets of flowers? No. Then you've got people who just don't want to take care of flowers. Like they're not good at it. They're like, there's no point.